My name is Christopher Franz, and I'm the founder of Country Community Honor. And I'm really not one for games. But when I do play games, I play to win. And that is why I created Country Community Honor, because with Country Community Honor, the American people can finally win the game of politics. I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of the party politics. I'm tired of nothing getting done, and the same old people, the same corrupt politicians keep getting reelected time and time again. Well, if the American people decide to play this game, we can actually win. So, Country Community Honor, it's an independent expenditure committee, unaffiliated and unconnected in every way. We were elected to get better people elected to Congress. Doesn't matter the letter next to your name. I don't care. D, R, Libertarian, Green, whatever. Are you better than the current candidate we have? Okay, let's get you elected. Because these party games, they're not working out. And yes, Country Community Honor is an independent expenditure committee. We're Super PAC. I personally am not a fan of Super PACs, dark money, the way our system has been run, the way politicians get elected. I mean, this is from Open Secrets, but just, the amount of money adjusted for inflation, just that gets spent to elect our politicians. 2024. For the congressional race, $9.5 billion. 2022, $9.5 billion. 2020, $11 billion. 2018, $7.1 billion. 2016, $4.5 billion. Just billions of dollars getting dumped behind our politicians, and that's been one of the biggest complaints from the average American, is just billionaires, millionaires, foreign interest, corporations, lobbyists, whoever has the money can just dump it behind the candidate that they want, and more or less that can get that candidate elected. Whereas the American people, we don't really have anything to support the candidates that we want. And so that is why I created Country Community Honor it as a super PAC, because sometimes to win, you gotta play their games. And so, let's play their games, because if the American people play, we can win. At the same time, I am, unincorporated, yes. We are a super PAC, but we are also unincorporated, meaning we can only accept $5,000 a year per individual. Nobody can donate legally more than $5,000 to us in a given year. And, that makes it so, one, there's no board of directors. It's just me running everything. So, yes, hypothetically, I could take all your money if you donate and run, and there's nothing you can really do about it. No board of directors, whatever. I make the decisions. But I wanted it more so this way so I could campaign for any candidate I see fit. I'm not trying to debate with other people of, yes, let's back this candidate, let's not fund this candidate. I'm more for let's just fund every candidate, and then at the same time, with that $5,000 limit, it makes it so nobody can feel like they own us. Because we are not here to be owned. I am not here to be owned. Country Community Honor was created for the people, to represent the people, to try and get rid of these party games, to just try to get the best person elected. So I'm not trying to be owned. I'm not trying to have any person, corporation, foreign interest, lobbyist, just anybody come in, say, here's a check for $1 million. This is who I want you to campaign for. You can't talk about these things. And it's, no. We are here to try and just spread the message of all the candidates running, as many as we can, so that they have a fair chance to compete, to get elected. But to get elected, they need people to vote for them, and that's another issue. That we have here in America, and this is another game that Americans really need to play, and that is turning out and actually voting, especially in the primaries. So this is from the bipartisanpolicy.org, you know. It's from 2023. But for the 2022 midterms, this is the average turnout for the primaries. The highest state is 48%. And one of the issues for that is because of the party system we have. There are closed primaries, there are open primaries, there's like some that are in between, and as you can see down here, states that switched to more open primaries saw an average turnout of 24.5%. Oh boy, on average, a quarter, a fourth of the people who can and are eligible to vote showed up and voted in the primaries. Okay, well, this makes it so the same old corrupt politicians, the party-backed politicians, the one that have all the money and are constantly campaigning, well, they're the ones that the people who do vote are really, they only heard about these people. So vote for the party, vote for the candidate you heard about, vote for the one that has all the money and all the backing, and majority of Americans just choose not to vote because a lot of the time they don't like the party candidate. Because a lot of Americans are independent, third party. They are not Republican, they are not Democrat, they do not participate in those primaries, and so it just allows the parties to control who gets elected. And if the American people sit back and do nothing, if we don't play the game, then nothing changes. And if nothing changes, then everything's just going to get worse. So I would just like to do a little comparison. This is the Congressional Careers, Service Tenure and Patterns of Member Service from 1789 to 2023. So, let me go down here to the graph for you. Figure 1. Average years of prior service in chambers for the senators and representatives through the 1st and 118th Congress. Okay. On average, every single senator that got elected and was sworn in to the 118th Congress had 11.2 years of previous service under their belt. For the House, it was 8.5. Well, if you go here, this one is the updated 2025 one. So we can go and compare to Figure 1. Senate, same, 11.2. So 2 years later, on average, every single senator still has the 11.2 years. So, you know, some did step out, but, you know, not as many. We maybe one new one came in, but we kept majority of everybody else. And then, for the House, it went up to 8.6. So, on average, basically every single House member from the previous session more or less got reelected. So, let's go back to the 2023 one, Figure 2, percentage of representatives who did not seek re-election. So, you know, members who either died or they decided to retire or they decided to run for some other office. 13.6%. That's really not, that's not even a quarter. Not even a fourth of our House or Senate decides that they want to step down. You know, majority of them, over 80%, decide that they need to seek re-election. Oh, what's the updated 2025? Oh, percentage of representatives who did not seek re-election. 11.7%. Even less. So if we want to make a change, if we want to see a difference in America, we need to try to make sure we're having politicians that if they're doing things like digging us $38 trillion in debt, they are not constantly seeking re-election. And if they do seek re-election, we need to try and make sure they are unseated, because 2023 graph, figure 3, the percent of representatives defeated for re-election. A total of 6%. Only 6% of our elected officials who tried to get re-elected lost. Okay, well, if we want to make real change, we need to unseat more than 6%. Okay, well, let's see. Did we make any real change for the updated one? Oh, 3.9%. Even less. We just re-elected the exact same people to the Congress and Senate as before and just keep complaining that we need real change. Well, if we want to see real change, we, the American people, need to put in the real effort. And here's another. Here's for, let's go to the 2022 election primaries. Voting eligible population, overall turnout. This is from statesunited.org. What does it show? Okay, oh boy. Not many people show up to vote. Highest 42%. Lowest, what I believe is Connecticut, 8%. If we, the American people, want to see a difference, want to make a real change, then on average, more than the 24%, and that's in the more open primaries. In the more closed primaries, it's an average of 20%, a fifth. 1/5 of the population is basically deciding our politicians, and these politicians are all being backed and funded by the parties and their donors. So if the American people want to make a real difference, if we want to make a real change, we need to actually be able to have a system or an organization that can compete against the parties and actually back candidates running in the primaries, because that's the only way we really unseat these politicians and make a real difference. If the American people sit back, do nothing, don't participate in the primaries, let the parties reign supreme, and then just complain that nothing changes and just hopes that everything will be fixed because of the president, then I'm sorry. America's going to completely fail, because we can't just keep re-electing the same corrupt career politicians to Congress and expecting things to change, because Congress is where the real power lies. So, if we want to make a difference, if we want to make a real change, we need to put in the effort to elect real candidates, real leaders to Congress. And 2026 has already started, so it's time to start getting serious. So if you want to know more, if you want to find out more, visit the website, ourconstitutionalrepublic.com. You can donate down at the bottom of nearly every web page. We are trying to compete against a multi-billion-dollar propaganda machine. But if you like what I have to say, share the video, like the video, tell your friends, tell your family. We can make a difference in 2026. We just have to care enough to try. But thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.